I thought I had it
The
on
kids are
silent.
texting.
Thank you guys for indulging me.
Yeah, we're happy to see you.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, you just make it crazy, don't they? Oh my gosh.
Talk
Now that I only got one of
They
them.
are.
I'm
It's a board game.
not
Kids will take care too.
Text Janine and see if.
the referee.
Right.
No.
All right, I think we're live, yes?
Okay.
I'm just not gonna sit down and stand back up.
I think that's totally reasonable. I think that's reasonable under any circumstances.
I said, well, we're just gonna stand right back up and say.
Yes,
For
yeah.
Janine to text back?
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks like everything's fine, but I just get really nervous about it.
Well, we don't have a closed session, so that's the thing that I would get most
It
nervous
works
about.
out. We'll trust it.
They aren't calling back yet.
Well, like I said, I'm not as worried since we're not in closed session. Closed session is what I worry that that's gonna stay on for. It is now 6:03 PM and I would like to call the September 29th special meeting of the Board of Education.
Oh, wait.
to Order. Okay, again. Okay, it is now 6:03 PM and I would like to call the September 29th special meeting of the Board of Education to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Booker.
Here.
Mr. Herrera.
Here.
Mrs. Hauk.
Here.
Ms. Mayville.
Here.
Mrs. Reed Nemick.
Here.
Mrs. Whitcomb.
Here,
Mr. Zickert.
Here.
Okay, please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any items on the agenda any members of the board would like to amend or move? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the agenda of the special meeting of the Board of Education on September 29th, 2022 as presented?
Second.
Member Whitcomb made the motion and Member Herrera seconded the motion to approve the agenda of the special meeting of the Board of Education on September 29th, 2022 as presented. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Whitcomb.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye.
Mr. Zickert.
Aye.
Mr. Booker. Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Ms. Mayville.
Aye.
Mrs. Reed Nemick.
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Next, we'll move on to our public hearing regarding District 100's final 2022-2023 budget. Anyone wishing to address the board on the budget may do so at this time. Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed and we will move on to our second public comment. At this time, members of the public and employees of District 100 who submitted comments will be read. We did not receive any via email. And those attending in person may make public comment. Please remember to try to restrict your comments to 3 minutes. Anyone here wishing to make comment?
Would you like me to?
Absolutely, come on up.
Hello, everyone.
Please state your name for the record minutes, please.
Okay, my name is Isaac Miranda. I'm a community coordinator for Belvedere District 100. So nice to see everyone here again, and glad that we were all able to take time out of our schedule to be here today. Budgets have always been of interest to me, and I just wanted to, make something known. We've had a, sort of a normal back to school experience after the last few years, and going into the winter season and seeing how things go, I'm excited to see what our district can bring to our kids and make up for those years that we lost. And I just hope we keep in mind the lessons that we learned throughout the pandemic and use that to boost our education opportunities for our students. So I'm excited to hear what you all have to say, and thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Ms. Miranda. Anyone else? Okay, hearing none, public comment will be closed at this time. Next, we have our roll call action items. Do I have a motion regarding District 100's final budget for July 1 of 2022 through July 30th of 2023?
maybe June 30th of 2023. Is it July to July?
Sorry, July 1 of 2022 through June
June
30th of
30th.
2023. Thank you.
Motion to approve District 100's final budget for July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023.
Second.
Member Zickert made the motion and Member Herrera seconded the motion to approve District 100's final budget for July 1, 2022 through June 30th, 2023 as presented. Any discussion? I'd like to say, Mrs. Armstrong, thank you for the work that you have done in putting this together this year. First time that we have seen this from you, and we appreciate the time and energy and effort that you have put into it. And presenting it and also presenting it ahead of time so we could ask questions if needed.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Zickert,
Aye.
Mr. Herrera,
Aye.
Ms. Maybell,
Aye.
Mrs. Whitcomb,
Aye.
Mr. Booker,
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk,
Aye.
Mrs. Reed Nemick.
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Do I have a motion regarding the strategic planning services?
Motion to approve the strategic planning services as stated for Catalyst for Educational Change.
Member Zickert made the motion and Member Booker seconded the motion to approve the strategic planning facilitator bid through Catalyst for Educational Change as presented. Any discussion? Dr. Shug, did you want to add anything?
We did interview the two companies that brought forward a bid. Both of the interviews were very strong. We spent a lot of time reflecting on the best match and came to the conclusion that Catalyst for Educational Change is going to be the best match for the work that we're going to do. I have placed that initial phone call that we are voting on that tonight and that we anticipate partnering with them. They were very enthusiastic and looking forward to doing the work. And we did address creating perhaps some flexibility in terms of the times. So we will be working to coordinate that so that we can have as many people participate as possible.
Catalyst for Educational Change, out of the two proposals, was one that spent more time with the committee and also had a larger ask for the size of the committee as well. So that was one thing that we discussed in regards to both of them. Any other questions, comments, or discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zickert.
Aye.
Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Ms. Maybell.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mrs. Whitcomb.
Aye.
Mrs. Reed Nemick.
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Do I have a motion regarding the fuel bids?
Motion to approve the fuel bids as presented.
Second.
Member Zickert made the motion and Member Herrera seconded the motion to approve the fuel bid as presented, being from Petroleum Traders Corporation for the district fuel purchases. Any discussion? Mr. Booker, would you like to add anything? This came through committee. Okay, Mrs. Armstrong?
The only thing I would add is that unfortunately due to the current economy, our bid, we only got one response to the bid and that was highly unusual for us. And the prices for the bid are almost double what we have paid for the prior 2 years. So I anticipate that we will continue to look at this and see if we can do amendments maybe next year if we see the price of fuel drop down.
Anyone have any other comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Zickert.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye.
Mrs. Whitcomb.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Ms. Maybell.
Aye.
Mrs. Reed Nemick.
Aye. Motion passes 7-0. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Member Herrera made the motion and Member Whitcomb seconded the motion to adjourn. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Meeting adjourned at 6:11 p.m.
All right, don't forget, don't leave until you have signed them.
Oh, it's.
We have 3 of 4.
Yeah.
And you just need us to sign on the left side, right?
I'm good with it.
October 9 minutes.